Guys, welcome by the new episode of the podcast No More Secrets. I'm Krista. I'm an addict in recovery, and I was an addict for 35 years. And I'm doing this podcast because I want to get the stigma of addiction. And maybe you listen to my other episodes as well, then you know a little bit about me. Well, I'm Krista. I'm 49 years old, and I've been an addict from the age of 35. And I was addicted to opiates, to benzos, to cocaine, to ecstasy, to a lot of drugs, cannabis, cigarettes, and yeah, I am sober and clean now for over 8 months. And I'm very proud of that. My whole life changed. And here I'm sharing how I persevere, how I did it, how I'm still doing it. And yeah, I was um, I was reading a magazine, and there was an article from a GP from Holland, because I'm Dutch, and so English is my second language. So when I was preparing this episode, I wrote some things down because I didn't want to forget it while I'm thinking about how I can say it in English, you know. So I'm practicing for, English. I'm doing a course so to speak better English, but. Yeah, I think you understand. Yeah, and the article was about the GP, because I want to talk about the stigma, because the stigma is terrible. The shame, the judgments, the ignorance, the everything. It's so terrible. That's why I was an addict in silence. I was scared to share it with and to ask for help because I was so ashamed for the judgment. And yeah, what would they think? That, so the inner voices were also were all, always very bad about myself, and that's totally normal. But I changed my whole mindset, and yeah, so yeah, but the article that I was reading about, and it was so clear. That's why I want to share it with you. It was from a GP, and she wrote that she had a patient, and that was a woman, and her man was an addict for many years, and yeah, he needed help. It's a terrible disease. So uh, and the people around the woman, the lady, were telling her, why are you not leaving your husband, why are you staying? And that's the way people respond when they hear somebody is an addict, and they don't know nothing about it. They don't know it's a disease. They don't know that it's very difficult. And then she told about another patient, also a lady, that had an husband that had an that had cancer. And the responses of the people in her environment were they sending flowers, they're sending cards, and wish her well and give her strength and love and offered help. And you do you hear the difference? That's how the world is still about addiction, still, and it's 2024, and it has to stop. It really has to stop. So that was, yeah, I was reading that, and then I thought that's exactly what I was feeling also when I would share that I was an addict and that I was addicted at the time, and yeah, so I'm happy I'm not anymore. But that's a good example about how people think. But you know what? Don't bother what people think. It's your life, and you have to make something of it. And I wrote some things down because when you are going in recovery, and or a treatment, or you going to a clinic or whatever. If you seek help, finally seek help, please, please. Don't quit alone. You're not alone. Really, you're not alone. That's my experience, because I thought I was alone, but I'm not. I got so many nice messages, so many uh, sweet things. Okay, a lot of people I lost, but yeah, that was supposed to happen. I really believe in that, because yeah, the people that don't believe in you, the people don't take you seriously, they judge you. You, why do you want them in your life? That's not good for you. That's not good for your mind. It's not good for your health. Not good for your addiction, because yeah, when you're going treatment and you feel ashamed, I hope you're gonna feel the power, because yeah, when you get your addiction under control, then you're the most powerful you can ever be. And I know, because I am so powerful now. I'm so unstoppable. I never knew, really, I never knew that I had so much strength to take control of my life again, and don't let life control me and other people control me and situations and my addiction and everything. Fuck it. Fuck it. Take control. You're in charge of your own ship. You're the captain, and not anybody else. So please do that. And also, because I read also that in the hierarchy of the respectable severe diseases, still addiction is on the bottom. So still people don't acknowledge that addiction is a disease, that you don't choose to have a fucked up life. You don't choose to always chasing drugs, to chasing medications or alcohol or whatever you're addicted of. And it's addiction is still the number one in the area of judgment, of ignorance, and of the stigma. So what? We have to change that. So that's why I'm doing this podcast, and being honest and being truthful. And yeah, it's not easy. I tell you, yeah, sincere, because I have tough times. Really, I have tough times, and really sometimes, whoa, I almost relapsed. And yeah, I want to share something about that, because I live in the Netherlands, and I live near Amsterdam. And last Saturday it was King's Day over here. And normally, because for 35 years I never experienced the same, like New Year, or the big events in your country. I never experienced them sober, and King's Day was especially a day that a week prior, before King's Day, I always arranged all my drugs. I always had enough alcohol at home. I was preparing my outfit, because everybody changes their clothes. They're dressing up in orange. And yeah, I always love to wear wigs. And you can be a little bit foolish and everything. There are all over the country are free markets, festivals. There are millions of people on the street and partying for a day and a half. And yeah, so for the first time, I had the craving not in my mind, but I had a physical cravings. So a few days before King's Day, yeah, my body was very tense and stressed, and had to go to the toilet many times. And I talked about it in recovery. They told us that's also how you can have or how you can experience cravings. But I never experienced it before. And now I experienced it, and it was fucked up. Really, it was really fucked up, because now it was not only my mind, but my body also wanted it, So I thought, oh my God, how am I going to survive King's Day? Am I strong enough? And so I did everything I learned. I talked about it in a previous podcast that, I do a lot of exercises like standing for the mirror, say how much I love myself and I'm good enough, I'm worth it, I'm going to achieve my goals. And I try to distract myself, but I was so lucky that I met a really nice woman, a fella from the meetings where I go to. I always go to CA meetings, and yeah, we had an agreement that we would have contact, would send messages or something or call when when it's difficult, because for every addicted person or addicted person in recovery in the Netherlands, the King's Day and the 5th of May, that is the Liberty Day, when the German people set us, or the German people, the American people set us free. So it's really also a big event in the Netherlands. We decided to do that, and it helped me so much. So I really want to say to you, ask help if you're feeling like you want to use, you almost can't stop it. Call somebody, or write me, or send me an email or whatever, but do something to get out of. Call an anonymous helpline, for AA, for CA, for NA, for whatever. I don't know in your countries what you got there, but there must be something there, like that also. In Holland there is a lot. So last Friday night, it was the day before King's Day, I was at the top. Really, I was at the top. So I was thinking, I'm gonna call. I'm gonna search a number in my phone. I deleted everything over 8 months ago, but I thought, no, I'm gonna search. Maybe I have something in my old phone, and I found the number. So I was like this for a relapse, and then the common sense. Oh, I was so glad came in my head again, and said, "Now you're going to a meeting." But there wasn't a meeting at that time. So, but there was an online meeting. So I went to an online meeting, and that helped me through that night. So I was so happy when I woke up Saturday morning, but because I live near the center of the town where I live in, all the people are outside, so it was very crowded. I heard the people walking by. I heard the music from the center, because there were also DJs, and so my craving starting to build. So I was messaging my fella and my friend, and I said, I really want to use. I really want to go to the supermarket. I wanna buy a bottle of red wine. I wanna call a dealer or something, because it was sky high. So we encouraged each other. No, just for an hour, just for an hour. We're not gonna do it. We can do it. We can do it. And I did it. I didn't use. I didn't do it. Yeah, wow. And the rewards, guys, the rewards of recovery, the rewards of not listening to that addiction voice, yeah, they are huge. Because today is Monday. Normally I do my episodes on Tuesday, but it's such a nice weather, and I did a dance video on TikTok, and yeah, I was replying to a lot of DMs, and because a lot of people are DMing me and asking me, what I do when I have cravings, or how I got sober and clean. And yeah, and it really gives me so much power that I can help other people with my story, with how I did it. And so this morning I woke up, and I woke really Literally, I woke up like this. Yes, 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 yes. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. So, yeah, and that feeling, that is internal, it's not external, it's internal. And no drugs, no liquor, no medications, no nothing can go against that feeling that I'm feeling now. Yeah, I'm so happy. I'm always bursting out of my body. I feel the excitement, I feel the proudness, I feel, yeah, I feel so happy. And yeah, that I went through it and I survived. I survived. And you will too. You will too. You can handle it for sure. You can handle any pain, because when you have craving, that it's only telling you you're in pain, or there is something that you want to avoid, or there is something you don't want to feel, because that's what it is. Because you weren't an addict because you really love doing it. No, the majority of the people are using because they want to numb something. So when you have the craving and you be aware of that you're numbing something. I knew I was numbing, um, um, this last weekend. I was numbing the pain of feeling alone, because and feeling not used to it. And yeah, there's some things in my personal life going on now that they came up more stronger, and so so for me it was also, the craving was also because I want to numb it. I didn't want to feel it. So when you have cravings, I hope you can try to be aware of that, and go inside yourself. What am I feeling? What is it that I want to numb? So yeah, so I did it, and if I can do it, you can do it. Because I used every day. Every day I took opiates and benzos. For many, many years, I used antidepressants, and yeah, so and every weekend I did the hard drugs. And yeah, and the last couple of years, and because there were very tough things happening in my life, I started to do cocaine and a lot of alcohol. So yeah, so if I can do it, if I can overcome the cravings, then you can do it also. I know for 100,000%. So yeah, and you know um, why I'm telling you all this is because I really want to I really want to do my part of getting addiction off of that stigma, that fucking stigma. I hate the stigma. Really, we are just people, and we need to be loved, and we need to love ourselves. That's the most important thing. Because how it felt for me this weekend. It was me versus me. You know that was it. So try to remember, it's you versus you. Really, it's you versus you. And yeah, you can overcome it. Really, you can. And listen to this the whole the time if you think you can do it. Because I'm not telling here, oh, it was such an easy thing to do. No, it was one of the biggest struggles I experienced in my sobriety. Really, because a few weeks ago I was against the wall. If you're in recovery, you know what a wall means. It means that you think you will never have a relapse. You will never you can live your life sober again, and never have to worry about your addiction anymore. That's how I felt. So I really was telling myself, I'm never going to relapse. Of course not. I'm already 7.5 months clean and sober, and now I'm 8 months in a week. And yeah, and that I went through the wall. So never think you're there, because you're never there. I heard it on the CA meeting last Sunday as well. There was someone 11 years, after 11 years, he relapsed. And so, yeah, the relapse is always around the corner. It's such a scary thing, but if you're aware of it, that helps you already a lot. And yeah, and what's also uh, my my goal for doing this is, yeah, because I I, yeah, being vulnerable was not something that was in my book. And yeah, by being vulnerable, it's so good for you. It's so good for everybody around you, the people you love, the people who love you. And yeah, it connects you again with the people. And now the most important thing, it connects you with you, because if you're vulnerable, that's one of the most powerful things you can do. So that's why I'm vulnerable sitting here. Yeah, I feel vulnerable, but it feels at the same time so powerful. And yeah, pain is your power. That's something I never heard of before I went in recovery, before I got sober and clean. I never heard of it. And now I understand it, because everything I went through, I had a really tough life, really, and experienced a lot of things: sexual abuse, neglection, homelessness, being deceived, manipulated. I've been stabbed. I've had, well, so many things. Too much to tell in a few minutes. But yeah, I never was vulnerable about it. No, because I was only numbing it, everything, and now I'm not anymore. So yeah, guys, I want to say to you, really don't give up on yourself. Really don't. And don't give up on your dreams. Never limit your beliefs. Never. Don't listen to the negative beliefs you have and you always put in your mind. It's all about mindset also, because if I didn't change my mindset, okay, I went on a coaching program with a life coach, and yeah, that really changed everything for me, really everything. And that's why I'm doing a podcast. I never ever imagined that I would doing a podcast, and I'm doing it, I'm rocking it, and I'm loving it. It helps me also to recover, to be vulnerable to you all, to the whole world. And yeah, it I grow from this. And yeah, it opens everything, it opens doors for me, and that I could never imagine that I would go back to school. I would go hiking with my son in Portugal, things like that. Yes, I went on vacations, but those vacations were like, on the airport already having a drink, and you know how it goes, a lot of medication with me. So, and now I'm going hiking. I love hiking, but I never imagined that I would be hiking in Portugal. So yeah, it's amazing. So guys, it's you versus you, and you are the change. You really are your own change. So, like I said, you're the captain of your ship. Don't ever give up on yourself. Never, ever, 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 never. If I did it, I wasn't sitting here. So, don't do it, please. And if you like to connect, if you want to reach out, if you need help, if you want advice about how I did it, please connect with me. You can do that by my socials, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, or you can send me an email on krista.connect@gmail.com, and I will reach out to you. I always reply. And please, if you like the episodes, hit the like button and subscribe on my channels. And I see you next week. And then I have a really inspiring lady again, and she was also very addicted. And yeah, because and I really wanted her in my podcast because the more stories you hear from people that were addicted and are not anymore, they're in recovery, the more I hope you believe recovery is possible. It's possible. I'm the proof. So, people, guys, have a really, really, really amazing week. A sober and clean week, I hope. And don't relapse. Don't do it. It ain't worth it. And you're worth everything. You are worth everything life is giving you. So never give up on yourself. And I believe in you. I love you. And I see you next week. Bye, everybody. Bye bye.